Well, just another day in the lab, playing with my toys. This is an idea of a spout, you know, for caboose. I took this off the Illinois Central. You see that? I can copy pretty good, you know. I'm gonna have to shorten the hose, and I gotta find a way to pass it through that hole without making that hole too big. But I was able to print this piece when I turned my print speed down a little bit. I'm using a 2/3 fan blade, you might call it, so the motor can run a little faster. I think it's a little happier when it's a little faster. It does make a bit of a hum though. I'll see what I can do about that. And at such, then, it was smoking fairly heavily at 5.6, so I cut it down to 5.0, which is fine, right? We like it. 5 volts is very nice. Lazy. So we turn the motor up a little bit and the heat down a little bit. You always expect to do that. And there is the result. Oops, I'm not even in the frame here. Okay, there you go. I don't know how to show this very well, do I? Maybe that's the way to show it, so you can see it kind of. Oops, I pulled it off. Okay. Don't get too vigorous. This is an older piece of hose that I'm using for now. There we go. There you go. Now you can see how it's coming. Both. I don't know why the wind is going in that direction, but it is. I blow on it, it goes the other way. There's a straight kind of a flow. I think that's pretty darn nice, actually. Anytime you can cap it and get it to leak out the sides like that, I think it looks nice, in my opinion. What do I know, right? So that's the progress. What you're looking at is a new kind of a chassis for this assembly. And I'll turn the motor off for a sec and unplug my meter. We don't need to worry about that now. And just look at this fit. If I can do this with one hand without burning myself. The power leads, there's only 2 now, and everything else is contained. So it just sort of slides in. It's still smoking. And as it slides in, the thing we have to fuss about is where the stack is. The stack's there, so we're going to come out and come out. Okay, so we're going to come out here and then curl down. We're going to curl down. We're going to curl down to the bottom and then back up. So it's going to look like this, kind of. I don't know how to explain that. And then the frame will hold this up, and then this would be sticking up, you know, like that. So as you can see, fits with spare, room to spare actually. There's the window actually sticks up quite a bit, and it looks like that one's broken. This one's going to get cut, I think. I need to get some relief from this plastic, and if I just cut it right at that point, this thing will sit down because it's a flat line all the way across, and it really needs that space, and it needs to be level. Oh, I wonder. That's warm, isn't it? May need to put a little blanket or something up against there to keep that from getting too hot. Oh, that'd be the berries if it got so hot. 5 volts. I don't know what the temperature is. It wouldn't melt that. Pardon me. Oh, and the other thing I did while I was screwing around earlier today, I made a different bracket for that. This is now a complete assembly chassis. This is what you might get from us as far as if you order one. This is about what it'll look like, I think, pretty much. We'll pre-wire it. It'll be tidier. I can make those shorter. They're all in an assembly now, so you don't have to fuss too much. That snout is put in with a soldering iron. That was an error on one side. It has to have a short screw to fit under the screw, actually. And on the back side, on the opposite side, there's a hole there in case you need to come out one side or the other, but that hole has a screw in it to keep it from leaking, okay? So you're going to have a screw on one side and a plug on the other, and a silver plug in the middle there is how you put the oil in. Take that plug out and squirt the oil in. Don't overdo it. I overdid it and it was just smoking like crazy, okay? And there's no controls other than the temperature. You know, this is a little risky because you guys can touch this. You can turn that. If you turn that and you've got 17, 15 volts up and you don't know what you're doing and you turn it up to like 9, 12, 15 volts, you're going to melt this into a blob. It sounds scary, but I'm telling you, I'm going to adjust this to 5.5 volts. I'll test each assembly. Dan will too. But if we'll paint it red or something. If you go anywhere, you just don't touch that one, is what I would suggest. Don't touch that one. When it starts getting low on smoke, you put 8 drops of smoke in here. That's it. And then over here is the fan speed. Now the fan speed, you could say it's too slow, it's too fast, I don't know. And you can adjust that, although you can give it 15 volts and it's only made for 5. So you can overdrive him as well. So you can do tiny movements, but not, not 5 turns or something like that. You hear the motor scream, it's probably a little too fast. Yeah. Okay, wow, pretty good, huh? I think so. Got it to fit. Oh, let me show you the side-by-side thing. There it is. In all its glory. I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm going to be building more sets today, okay? There's the side-by-side. So let's see now. I think he fits like this, and this guy is going to fit like that. I think that's the way it'll work. So turn my light on. That may or may not help. I don't know. I got a light here, but everything's black, so what can you see? But the idea here is you can wire it up. We'll wire it up. It'll come like this. You'll see it. Maybe, I don't know what time it is, but maybe today. It'll all be assembled. It's upside down. I wonder it'll look like hell. Okay. And then you'll see all these parts will be on here, and it'll be the same thing. 2 leads come out, and you turn it on. And then you can do an on-off. We find an on-off button for you, okay? And you send that to track through pickup. What are you doing here? What? It gets cold in the mail car. You want a coal stove that smokes. Oh, man. What are you guys doing here? What? You had a hot box and you want to give an alert, hot box smoke alert. Oh, you guys. And you want a stove too? Lord. What? Where'd you come from? You were in the box over there. What, you're getting cold? The winter gets cold? You want that stove on? Jeez. I'll tell you. Everybody wants a furnace now. It's not a furnace. It just generates smoke. But it does get a little warm though. Anyway, this is the side-by-side. This is for houses. You know, if you had a house, empty this out. I could, I guess. There. Boom. Igloo. You got smoke in the igloo. All right, that's enough of that. Factories, anywhere you can put this size of a piece in, and we'll have a tube sticking out, and you take the rubber hose like you have a Hudson, right? And you run the smoke. Run it up, out, whatever. I even had an idea, if you had to, like if you were doing a bonfire, I don't know what made me think of that, but if you had the logs up and you had a fire and people are dancing around it like a celebration, football game or something, you could actually mount this under your table and just drill a little hole for the tube to come up into your stack and have the switch, turn it on, and smoke could come up through the... It's an idea. I don't know how anybody wants to use this thing. It's a smoke generator is about what it amounts to. It's coming in at about $40 is my last guess. It's not a guess. We actually count up all the screws, 15 cents each, all that stuff, and we add it up. It's semi-painful. It's not what I like to do. I'm not very good at admin. Oh, here's the fan blade that we printed, or I printed. See how it's about half the blade. Where's another one? Oh, there you go. Here's a real one. I don't say real one, but it's what you call full. They're both real, but see, that's a full blade. There, now you can get a good look at it. Full blade, half blade, that kind of thing. You get the profile. Okay, so that allows me to go a little faster with the motor, and I make sure it starts every time. Okay, well, that was today, I guess you can say. Monkeying around with that, checking some things, building some things. I'm gonna go build another one and mess around. All right, that's it. Later.